Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Tonight we have a real treat for you. We are celebrating Valentine's Day and the year of Southern cooking in a sweet way with our very special Southern chocolate pecan pie. Now, just before we start, let me go ahead and tell you that this recipe is exactly the same for pecan pie as it is without the addition of chocolate. So what you can do is for the 1 cup of pecans, you can add another cup of pecans in place of the chocolate just to make good old Southern pecan pie any time of year. So I'm really excited about this one because this is a delicious treat. It's not overdone, there's not too much chocolate, it's got just enough chocolate in it to complement the pecans and really add that pop of sweetness that we're looking for. So we start out with just a few things. We have 1/3 cup of melted butter. We're going to use just about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, about 2/3 cup of sugar, 3 eggs, 1 cup of white Karo syrup, or that's the clear syrup, and I've got a neat little trick for you on that, 1.5 cups of semi-sweet pecan chips, and 1 cup of rough chopped pecan halves. I've got some that are whole, some that are small pieces. You just never know what you're going to get in every bite, and I like rough chopping them that way because it creates a different texture all with the same ingredient. And then we have an unbaked 9-inch pie crust in a deep dish pan. So, and you can go to thebutteredhome.com and I'll link the recipe in the notes for our homemade pie crust, or you can simply go to the store and get a pie crust that from the store that works fine too. Whatever makes your life easier and gets you cooking. So we're going to start now and we're going to whip our 3 eggs. And we're just going to pour those into a large bowl. And you can use a hand mixer for this, but there's just really no need because quite literally the eggs are the only thing that really need whipping. So I'm just using my trusty little whisk. And we're just going to whip those just until they're a little frothy. And get those incorporated in. Then I'm going to add in my sugar, and we're just going to whip that into the egg, and it'll sort of make kind of a light paste, and we'll get those incorporated in pretty well. And to that we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon or a pinch of salt, and the salt actually helps accentuate the sweet of the pie. And then we have 1 cup of white corn syrup, and what I have done is I have sprayed my measuring cup before I put the corn syrup in here so that you're not left with a whole lot of corn syrup wasted as far as residue on the inside of the cup, and it helps, and that way you don't have much left over and you don't have to really scrape that out. So that kind of tightens things up a bit. So we're going to add that in, and then to that we have 1/3 cup of melted butter that I have allowed to come to room temperature. And all of these things make up our custard for the pie. Now I know when you think of pecan pie, you really don't think of custard. In my mind, a custard is something that is creamy in texture and kind of a solid look. Well, because of the use of the Karo syrup, you're splitting your sweet between the Karo syrup and the sugar. You get more of a clear custard with this instead of just using white sugar. All right, so we have got that incorporated in, and then we're going to add in our pecans. And let me just make sure that I get all of these in there, and then we're going to stir in the pecans and the chocolate chips. We're just going to kind of fold those in, making sure that they're all covered by that nice custard mixture. Now, so every piece is a part of our custard. So now we are going to set that aside and get our pie crust unbaked, and you'll see my little trick for putting this on a sheet pan, as I've mentioned before, is a real lifesaver. That way, if it does tend to kind of boil over, it will not get all in the bottom of your stove. It will get on the sheet pan, and the sheet pan is a whole lot easier to clean up than the bottom of that stove. Cleaning a stove makes me say ugly words. Now you just pour that in, and then this is going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. Now, because pies differ, just like with our buttermilk pie, it does tend to have a little wiggle in the middle of it. A good thing to do is to use a thermometer, and a meat thermometer will be fine. If that 45 to 50 minutes is up and you're just not sure, just stick that thermometer in there, and as long as it is about 185 degrees in the center, then you're done. You're gonna let this one cool completely, and then you're gonna slice it and have probably the best pecan pie you'll ever put in your mouth. So we're gonna pop this in the oven, and then we will be back to show you what it looks like when it's done. Hey everybody, we are back. We have finished a 50-minute cook time, and I have allowed it to sit for about 30 to 40 minutes to completely cool. Now, the cooling portion is just as important as the cook time, because you don't want to cut it too early. It'll be runny. Now, I know pie is wonderful warm, but trust me on this, you just want to be able to handle your pan, and that should be cooled enough. So we are going to show you how beautiful this looks before we cut it. See, it's all pretty and golden brown on top, and it is fully cooked through. You can smell and see the chocolate, and it is gorgeous. So we are going to cut it now and show you what it looks like. And I am not good at math, so I always have to eyeball it right through here just to kind of get my cut, my center kind of centered. And I'm going to take it off of this trivet. And the first piece is always the cook's piece because it tends to be messy. So we're going to take it out, and just trust me when I say that you'll get the idea of the texture of this, even if it does come out messy. I always break it, and it always breaks my heart whenever I break it. But would you look at that? It is gorgeous. You have the custard, and you have the chocolate, and you have the texture of the pecans, and you have that beautiful pie crust, and you'll just have to trust me when I tell you it smells divine. So this sets up just as pretty as any other pecan pie that you might see, and like I said before, this recipe, like so many of our others, is easily adaptable to exclude the chocolate and just make pecan pie. Be sure, if you are not already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel and ding the bell so that you can be notified whenever we drop new videos. Also, be sure you're following us on our social media channels over at Facebook and Instagram. The links are here. We cook live there almost every Monday night at 7:30 Central Time, and we would love to have you join us over there as well. So, guys, this is a wonderful food gift for Valentine's Day or any special occasion. We hope that you'll make it. Tag us in your pictures, because I'm a girl. I love pictures of food, and I would love to see yours. So be sure and look for our next sweet Southern dessert coming up soon. From the buttered home to your home, we love you guys. Bye.